Checked. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about something that really bothers me, and that is James Charles. I don't know. So I know you guys all probably know about the tati stuff and all this. Even since then, there's been allegations against him. But there's been a new boy that's come forward, and he showed proof that James Charles actually sent him nudes. And James Charles, I believe, admitted to it, but he said that he didn't know that he was 16. So he admitted to it. Let's just pull up James's Twitter right now. I think I have him blocked, to be honest, but yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna read Jadens' statement on his Twitter. It says, trigger warning, grooming and pedophilia. It says, there's a video going around about me on TikTok and Twitter of a guy calling me a groomer, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I have groomed this person is completely false. Last week, I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me, and added him on Snapchat. The next morning, I woke up to several snaps from this person. Being excited, I added him back, saying he loved me, and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. I asked how old he was right away, and he told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could be potentially great, I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport. It's not clear, based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologized for flirting, but he insisted on continuing talking, saying it could be our little secret. He's a fan of mine, and would never tell anyone. I told him I wasn't okay with this. He started getting upset, and at this point I unfriended him. We haven't spoken since. I'm not victim blaming him or victimizing myself either. Simply sharing what happened, and what happened was not okay. After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with anyone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats. Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I will now ask to see the passport, ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with. Why weren't you doing this before? Okay, so one accusation is one thing, but there have been, like, I can't even count how many people have come forward and accused him. So where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Like, okay, what's that saying? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If all these accusations are bullshit, as you say, you should have learned your lesson from the first time. And even anyone as a normal person, even I as a normal person, and most people, we don't trust people to be who they say they are online. Like, you know, they could be catfishes, they could be not who they say they are, they could be, you know, human traffickers, you know, trying to set us up and saying, hey, come meet here. We make sure we meet in a public place. We don't, it's just basic common sense. And especially if you have, what, like, I don't follow him, but like 20 million followers, you would think that you would use your brain a little bit more and not just send your nudes to random people on the internet. And the boy, he has his age on his TikTok, 16. He's 16 years old. So the problem is that by law, legally, his excuse, it's not going to cut it. It's not. It doesn't. Sorry. Okay, so let's look up the law in California about sending sexts to a minor. It says here, harmful, I'm getting this from a law firm website, criminaldefenselawyer.com. It says harmful matter sent with intent to seduce a minor. California also makes it a crime for a person to send or distribute, or offer to send or distribute by electronic communication any harmful matter to a minor with the intent to both sexually gratify or appeal to the person or minor and seduce or arouse the minor. Harmful matter is anything that depicts or describes sexual conduct in an offensive way and lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value for minors. In order to be guilty of the offense, the person must know that the recipient of the material is a minor, or the person must fail to use reasonable care in determining the true age of a minor. An adult who sticks a sexually explicit self-portrait to a minor may be charged with this crime, even though sending the image would not constitute a crime if the recipient is 18 or older. If the harmful matter depicts a minor engaged in harmful conduct, a person convicted of sending harmful matter with the intent to seduce a minor is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in county jail, or a felony punishable by 2, 3, or 5 years in prison. For harmful matter not depicting a minor, the misdemeanor punishment remains the same, but the felony punishment is 16 months, 2 years, or 3 years in prison. That's the California Penal Code. So, sorry, that excuse, I didn't know, because if that excuse would fly, then no one would ever be able to be held accountable for grooming or doing things to a minor. Oh, I didn't know. Well, it's your job to know. And this kid, he had it on his public TikTok, like his age, 16. He had it there publicly. So you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't. And I don't know. To be honest with you, I always had a feeling about him. Something's off. I don't know. And you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. And yeah, maybe one time someone could have put you in a bad situation to set you up. But if it's happening all these times, what are you doing to put yourself in that situation? Who is the common denominator? You. If there's nothing going on, then you should be like, okay, this was weird, this is inappropriate, and you just would not engage in that type of behavior again, because, you know, you'd be so freaked out. And so the fact that this keeps happening, you're not learning your lesson. So it gets harder and harder for you to play the victim and be like, oh, I didn't know. You keep saying that, but you keep not learning and you keep not doing better. So that's a problem. So you're gonna have to try a little bit harder than that, sweetie, because not knowing is not going to be a good excuse, and it might not hold up in court, because you might have to go to court about this because he was 16 and you sent him your nudes. That's weird. And I think we need to protect these minors. And another thing is, if this had been a girl, people would be freaking out, but because it's a guy, oh, you can't essay men. No, yes you can. You can groom men, you can do that. Like, that happens to men, and that's what frustrates me about Me Too. There's no intersectionality about it. It's centered around women. But this stuff happens to men too, and people turn a blind eye to it because they're like, oh no, you can't rape a man. You can. Oh, you can't do that. You can. Men can be abused, men can be all those things. The same thing. Like, it happens both ways. Especially when you're young, you're experimenting, you don't know, like, your sexuality, and, you know, someone is in a position of power over you. There's an imbalance of power happening, and it's grooming. So when Onision was doing things like this, everyone was up in arms about it. But now, why aren't people as upset about it? Why? Because it's being done to boys? Why can't people just accept that these things can happen to men too? Until we accept that and work on changing the system, nothing's going to change. We need to accept that we need to protect little boys, like teenage boys, just as much as we need to protect women. It's really sad to me. And it's just, I don't know, like, it's not the first guy, and hearing the pain in their voice, like, this is really upsetting for them. And I don't know. You should not be doing that. It's your job to check. You should have been IDing, especially the fact that have millions of followers. Like, I don't know why you're not doing your due diligence. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's just messed up. It's a messed up thing to do. And it makes me wonder, like, was there any validity to the previous claims against him? Did he pay people or intimidate people to shut up? I don't know. But this guy, the current guy, did show that he sent him nudes, and he is 16. So he could And this is not me fabricating things. Like, he could be facing, you know, I don't know, some kind of charge. I don't know, but that's what the law says. They might decide not to press charges against him. They might. I don't know. But this is serious, and people just brush it under the rug. And this guy gets away with everything. And I think, like, this guy coming forward, we really need to reevaluate all the other boys that have come forward, including that last boy who was bullied off the internet, who was like 14 or 15 years old. And he had and these boys are not like nobodies. They have hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, and they have their own following. Not as big as James, but they do have a following. It would have been easy for him to check up on this, but he just didn't. He did not do his due diligence, and there's no excuse for that. That is the law. You have to. You can't just be sending your nudes out to everybody. Like, that's creepy. If a man just started sending out his nudes to young girls, people would be freaking out. I don't know. I heard Trisha talking about it. I watched Paige's video about it, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it too. Like, this is crazy to me. This is the Insider article. It says, beauty YouTuber James Charles, who's 21, released a statement Friday denying that he groomed a TikTok user who says he's 16. The user said that he was sent nude photos from Charles last week over Snapchat. Grooming refers to building a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a child or young person in order to manipulate, exploit, and abuse them, according to the UK's National Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Children. The accuser told a story in a video that contained censored images of the nude photos Charles is purported to have sent to him, as well as messages where the accuser says Charles asked for photos in return. The video was eventually removed from Twitter for violating guidelines. Twitter did not immediately respond for comment, but enforces a policy that bans posts including non-consensual nudity of other people. In his statement, Charles, who has over 25 million YouTube subscribers, wrote that he came across the TikTok user on Instagram and added him on Snapchat. Charles said the accuser then sent him lewd photos of himself in the shower and claimed to be 18. Charles says he flirted back. The boy denies this. He said that he had to tell James that he was 16 and to back off and leave him alone because he felt uncomfortable. And that's the problem. It's like when women come forward, me too. But when these boys are coming forward, you're just doing this for clout. And I don't know if you've ever felt that pain of not being believed, but maybe this boy's coming forward because he felt uncomfortable and he doesn't want this to happen to other people. Maybe that's why he's coming forward. And maybe we don't know. Maybe this has happened before. I don't know. It's weird to me. It says, it's now clear, based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning, Charles wrote. He says that the TikTok user then said he was 16, and Charles says he unfriended him. The guy said that's not true. He was the one that unfriended him. That's what this boy says. Charles says he plans to ask for an ID or passport to verify ages in the future, which he should have been doing like 3, 4, 5 accusations ago. And as Trisha Paytas put it, if they look young enough where you have to question it or you have to ask them for their ID, they're too young for you. You're 21 years old. Like, why are you doing this? It's what? He says, the article says, in direct messages with Insider, the accuser said Charles lied in his tweet. He says, I never told him I was 18. In my TikTok bio, it says I'm 16, he said. I didn't record me saying it, just like how he doesn't have proof of me supposedly saying I'm 18. The teenager who accused Charles stands by his story. It says the TikTok user who accused Charles of grooming him goes by Izaiyah on the app and has over 200,000 followers. He posted multiple videos containing the accusations to TikTok and Twitter, but at least one video accusing Charles was removed from TikTok after Charles released his statement. Izaiyah said TikTok removed the videos from his account. A representative for TikTok didn't really, who cares about that part. It says in his video, Izaiyah said he added Charles on Snapchat first and sent him a message expressing that he was a fan of Charles. He said he was excited to see Charles had opened his Snapchat messages because he's my biggest influencer-wise, and I've always looked up to him. In a so-called part 2, Isaiah posted more of what he said were explicit photos Charles sent him and which he had censored. I was getting really uncomfortable, so I told him my age. I told him I'm 16, Isaiah said. He went on to say that Charles then repeatedly asked for nude photos and to FaceTime him. Isaiah also responded to Charles' statement with a screenshot purporting to show that he blocked Charles on Snapchat. He claims that Charles never asked for his age. It says, he responds in a tweet, he says, James, we both know I blocked you. You never asked for my age. After I told you I was 16, and you proceeded to ask me for nudes and said it didn't matter. You called me hot and said I wish the timeline could speed up so you could be 18. Isaiah also posted a screen recording of a voice memo he says he sent a friend while he was talking to Charles. For those who don't believe the age, this is the tweet he wrote, it says, for those who don't believe the age thing, this was me messaging my best friend who I told at the time about it. He was asking for me to send pictures of my body right after telling him I'm 16. Hope this clears things up. In the screen recording, Isaiah can be heard saying that Charles still did it and that's the problem, and that he was waiting to see if Charles would keep asking him to send things back. In the several years following the Me Too movement, grooming and child predation have become major discussion topics online, with many alleged victims posting their stories about purported interactions they've had with both major and minor celebrities. In the last year, several members of Charles' cohorts have faced similar allegations. That's so crazy. I don't know. I really hope that people at least look into what this boy is saying. I hope the authorities investigate it. I hope, you know, if this boy has the receipts like he says that he does, then I really think that something needs to be done, because this is, just because it's a boy doesn't mean it's okay. It's not okay to use your power to try to get people to do things. It's not okay to groom people. I don't know. It's just not okay. So I think definitely this needs to be investigated, because it's just, where there's, you know what I'm saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's one thing if one person comes forward with no proof to back it up, but if you have all these people coming forward and this guy has literal proof, what we need to believe them, or at least look into it. Why keep turning a blind eye? We can't. This is still a minor. These are still minors. These are minor boys. These are little boys. And this is an adult. Yeah, he's 21. He's still an adult, and he knows better. And it's an imbalance of power. He was his fan. He's like his idol. Like, he's taking advantage and using his control to manipulate the situation. And that's not okay. And it's never okay. And if that is in fact what he's doing, if what this boy is saying is true, he should be held accountable. He should be taught a lesson, and he needs to stop doing this, because this is not okay. So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this because this is just disturbing on so many levels. And like, he thinks that a notepad apology of saying, oh, I didn't know, will be enough. No, you're gonna have to do better than that. Like, you know, he's always so good at coming back with the receipts. James, let's see the receipts of how you were the innocent victim in all of this, because at this point we're gonna need to see it. So I hope that, you know, if you're a James stan, you know, I hope that you will open your mind and kind of read the writing on the wall, and just at least give these boys like a chance, or like, I don't know, like, at the end of the day, he did send nudes to this boy, and he still should have done his due diligence, and he didn't. So that's wrong, period. You could say it's a mistake, whatever, but there's no excuse. I've never sent a 16 or an underage person nudes. Have you? Doubt it. So yeah, I just want justice for this boy. If this is what happened, you know, what he said is true, then I hope he's okay, and I hope this stops if this is what's going on. But I definitely think we need to at least give them a chance and listen to what they have to say, and not sweep it under the rug and say you're clout chasing, because There's been way too many times now, and it's been too many times of having empathy and yeah, enough is enough. We need to start taking these accusations seriously and looking into them. So yeah, that's all I have to say, and I guess leave your comments down below. What do you think about this? I don't know. I'll link Petty Paige's video and Trisha Paytas' video that I watched before this down below, because I think they set it pretty well. And yeah, I mean, as a woman, we know what it's like. So, well, at least I do, and I'm sure I know Trisha does too. And it's hard when people don't believe you. So I think we need to really hear these people out. But yeah, I guess that's everything. Thank you for watching, and yeah, comment down below. Let's be polite. Let's just keep it educational, or I'm gonna block a bitch. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.